What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So in the last couple of videos you guys have been seeing me swapping out all of the suspension stuff and all of the stuff from my CB7 Sedan over to the new CB7 Coupe project. So I've been kind of doing all that stuff. In the last video I kind of got sidetracked and I was helping out a friend with his E30 and I kind of swapped over the trunk and just a couple little things here and there. But at this point, the CB7 Sedan is pretty much ready to get out of here. So I can make room so I could actually start getting some progress done on the CB7 Coupe. So today, basically what I'm gonna be working on is getting that CB7 Sedan ready to get out of here. So there is some like wiring and stuff that's still in the sedan. And if you guys did see those last couple of videos, you guys probably noticed that I left the CB7 Sedan with no front suspension. So I do want to put the front suspension kind of back together as much as I can. That way it could at least roll so somebody can tow that thing out of here. So at the moment, I have been getting a lot of people asking what I'm doing with the CB7 Sedan. I'm not parting it out or anything. I'm just gonna call somebody up to come grab it. My goal is to get rid of that thing by next weekend. So I'm about to head out. I just need to go grab some coffee real quick and we'll get started. I think that should be high enough. It just droops really low because if you guys saw the episode where I swapped all of my suspension over from the sedan over here to the coupe, you guys saw that the coilovers are still broken, so I don't really have anything bolted up here. So basically all just falls down, and that's gonna be like that until I get new coilovers. I'm obviously not going to drive the car with the broken upper control arms and the broken coilovers. That's something that I'm obviously going to replace before I actually drive the car. But yeah, that's the problem right now. That's why the tire still touches the ground. But once I take everything off, I'm sure the suspension will droop a lot, but I should be able to get the lower control arm. All right, and it's on jack stands. So I should be able to take the wheels off. I might have to kind of like lift up a little bit while I take them off, but all right, and here we are. So I know pretty much nothing has changed down here, but I did get the lower control arm swapped out. So this is the lower control arm I had, and you could even tell just from this angle how it is bent right here. So I just kind of got a second look at it, looked at it a little bit closer, and you can kind of see the bend in it. And I think I explained it in a video, in the last video where I swapped the suspension out and everything. You can kind of see that this wheel was pushed back a little bit, and I was originally thinking that it's because I didn't have the traction bar installed, but I actually did. So even with the traction bar, it was kind of pushed back a little bit. It also definitely could be the upper control arms, but just for peace of mind and just for the future, I just wanted to know I have a good lower control arm. I didn't want to have to like replace it in the future. Right now, right after I finish this, I am gonna start putting the front suspension back together on the sedan so I can get that thing out of here. So since I'm gonna be putting that back together, I was about to throw this lower control arm back on, but I just thought, whatever, I'm just gonna use this one moving forward since I know it is straight. I'm definitely missing out on getting the energy suspension bushings, but these are super worn out. Like, this is kind of like one of the first things that I replaced when I got the car. So these definitely have a lot of miles on them, and you can kind of see they're like ripping right there anyway. So I am kind of overdue for new bushings. Honestly, the bushings on this control arm, they're actually in really good condition, so I don't really see a problem with installing those. But yeah, again, in the near future, I do have to get new coilovers because this is all broken. They're not 100% together, and I do need to get another upper control arm. These lower control arms are off of an EF or a CRX. So they fit into this chassis because they have this same bolt pattern. So basically, if you go get an EF CRX lower control arm, it'll bolt up. It's gonna bolt up just fine. Since everything on the CB7 chassis is a little bit bigger and I think a little bit longer, the upper control arms are a little bit longer on a CB7. So if you were to just swap factory to factory upper control arms from the EF one to this, you'll actually get a bit of negative camber just from that, because this is actually shorter. There's a lot more companies and a lot more people that actually make stuff for the EFs as opposed to the CB7s. But yeah, hopefully we can start changing that. Hopefully we can start shedding more light on the CB7 chassis and showing people the potential. You know, these things deserve some love too, deserve some cool parts. So hopefully we can get these things out there, and maybe more companies like Skunk 2 and other companies can start making parts for this car before they completely go away, you know? But I feel like the CB7s are starting to kind of come up. There's a lot more people that are hitting me up that just started a CB7 project, which gives me a lot of hope for this car in the future, gives me a lot of hope for the chassis, and hopefully we can kind of get some things going for it. So help me out, guys. Let's start hitting up some companies, ask them if they can start making parts for the CB7 chassis so it can be easier for all of us to be building this car, because right now it definitely is a struggle. I know a lot of people are hitting me up asking me where they can find parts and things like that, and I'm definitely not the expert on where to find parts, because a lot of the parts that I came across were on eBay or I bought them off people. So even the parts that I have, I kind of had to get lucky to get them. So it is really difficult finding parts for this car, but yeah, help me out. Let's start getting this chassis out there and hitting some companies up. Oh yeah, this one's even worse. Yeah, so I mean, I was overdue for some new bushings, the lower control arms anyway, so. All right, guys, there we go. So I got the original lower control arms back on the Coupe. So those are the control arms that originally came on the Coupe. I just had this thought in the back of my head that those lower control arms with the energy suspension bushings were a little bit bent. From the way that the car was sitting, I can tell that that wheel over there was just a little bit pushed back. And now if you look at it, it's actually pretty straight on the wheel now. So I think that really had a lot to do with it, that lower control arm. You really can't tell just from looking at it. I mean, actually, you can kind of see right there, it gets pushed back a little bit. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped on that. Now I have a peace of mind, and I still need some other things with the suspension. But now I'm gonna focus my attention on this right here. So this is all of the factory stuff that came off of the Coupe, and I'm gonna be throwing all of this back on the sedans. And yeah, from there we should be able to get the sedan out of here pretty soon. All right, so now that I have those control arms off, really don't have much to worry about with the Coupe at the moment. So now I'm gonna be focusing my attention on the sedan over there. So I'm just gonna be taking all of this factory suspension stuff with the 4-lug, these factory wheels and stuff, and putting them on the front of the sedan over there. And hopefully this weekend, I should be able to call somebody to come get that picked up, if not on Monday. But yeah, I need to get that done as soon as possible. All right, guys, so it's the next day. It got dark on me yesterday, but I got the front end all together in the dark. It's pretty much together. The upper control arm, I was only able to get one bolt on the upper control arm. I kind of fit everything in place, but I mean, right now it is sitting on the wheels. It does slightly roll, but the wheels aren't stable while it rolls. This side has been the biggest issue because it's the most damaged. So if we look at the upper control arm, if you look at the far side over there, the stud is barely even in place. I wasn't able to even get a bolt through on this side, so this one's just kind of hanging on by hopes and dreams right now. Yeah, it's just kind of in place. Watch out, Hera. Hera, get out of the way. So, I mean, like, I can move it around a lot. It doesn't seem like a lot of weight is on this wheel or on this corner. It looks like a lot of the weight is actually it's kind of teetering. I'm gonna go through and take a little bit of time to just take out all of my wiring harness. Even though a lot of it's broken and ripped, I'm just gonna take it out so I could use any of the good, yeah, you can see right here, look, boom, one of the headlight connectors broken. So I'm gonna have to replace any of the broken connectors, but a lot of the connectors I can still actually reuse, and then just kind of like splice it in with all of the new wiring once I get into building a wiring harness for the Coupe. So yeah, I still need to take all this stuff out. I might steal some of the sensors and gauges off of the CB7, use it for the E36, and then once the CB7 project comes around, then I'll just get new gauges and stuff for that. So because right now I'm basically driving the E36 blind because I mentioned it before, but I don't have any sort of coolant temperature sensor working, and it doesn't come with the oil temperature sensor factory or an oil pressure sensor. So yeah, I want to add that in there. And I have just the sensors and gauges on this thing just sitting around. I might get into that when I have some time, maybe next weekend or something. But other than that, this is where the sedan is sitting. It's ready to get out of here. So, and none of this stuff in here is coming along with it. I'm taking all my wiring, all my sensors. I'm honestly taking the e-brake handle, my wipers, all that stuff. So just kind of think of it as just like a bare shell. All right, and over here I have the gauges out. I already kind of rolled up all of the sensors and everything. I don't think I've showed this in a video yet, but this is kind of like all the parts and stuff that I have here. I just kind of have it chilling in the trunk because that's the only part of the car that's actually like covered from rain and stuff. All right, guys, I think this is going to be the final goodbye for Stella. The CB7 Sedan is going away. Someone's gonna come pick it up in a little bit. They should be here in probably like 20 minutes or so. So yeah, this is gonna be the last time seeing her. Pretty sad day, but honestly, I'm hyped to just be like moving forward with the CB7 Coupe project. Hyped to kind of get this out of the way and not be taking up space with a bunch of junk, you know? So yeah, I'm just hyped to move forward. What's up, Hera? So I just went through, I moved the E36 over there, the 4Runner's parked over there, and I just kind of like have it cleared out so whenever they pull up, we can just kind of get that thing pulled out of here. So I'm not exactly sure what we're gonna do to get it up. I'm not too sure like what this person's bringing, but said it shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I kind of went through, cleared it out. I don't think I showed you guys everything since I took the wiring out and everything, but this is kind of what, ooh, hold on, some bolts and stuff here. But I'm just gonna go through, take all the last minute little bolts and stuff. Probably like throw away some of this junk just so they're not taking it with all the junk. And yeah, I just thought I should get some clips before this thing is gone forever, you know. So yeah, pretty bummed out, but also pretty hyped. But anyway, once they come by to grab it, I'll be sure to get some videos whenever they're pulling this thing out of here. So get to you guys then. All right, so we just pulled up with the tow truck. Just about to get this thing out of here. I'm shedding some thug tears right now. All right, so a change of plans. So since that wheel's all hanging, originally he was just gonna put it on like the wheel carrier or like the wheel lift thing in the back. But since the wheel's hanging off, he decided to put it on the flatbed. So yeah, he had to drop that car off on the street, make space on the flatbed so he could take this. Then he's gonna take that thing on the wheel lift. There it is. It's almost out of here. Man. There she goes. Just like that, sedan's gone. Later. All right, let's get started on this coupe now.